Hey everyone, Takoyakeys here. Today we'll be taking a look at a custom coiled cable made by one of the newer members of the community, Clumsy Cables. Full disclaimer, I was sent the cyberpunked cable in exchange for a review. They normally go for $40 to $50 US, which is a very decent price. Everything was very well packed. I got a nice thank you card and some Jolly Rancher candy. Don't mind if I do. Also included, a holographic sticker, which was a nice touch. You can tell a lot went into making sure the cable wouldn't get messed up in transit, which I really appreciated. The owner of the brand, Corryn, started making cables because, like many of us, quarantine was driving us insane. And with her profession as a dystopian sci-fi novelist, and with Cyberpunk 2077 coming out around that time, she decided to make a cable surrounding that theme. I really like the distressed appearance of the aviator connectors. On one hand, this might make it harder to match with a general desk aesthetic, but on the other hand, if you paired this with Mito's MT3 Cyber keycap set, for example, it could be a pretty spicy combo. The heat shrinks surrounding the connection ends were nice and flat, and the cable itself had a pattern that reminded me of a rattlesnake. The cable coils are a little on the smaller side than some other cables I've owned. Here's a comparison, sitting beside the Space Cable's laser coiled cable. Measurement-wise, it's about 4.5 millimeters narrower than the laser cable. Personally, I think this cable would look a little tiny if it were connected to a full-size keyboard, but a lot of us in the community don't daily drive a full-size, so it shouldn't be a concern for most. And another nice touch, this wooden rod to ensure the coils don't get crushed. I noticed a few small scuffs on this end of the shrink wrap, but it wouldn't be noticeable once it's plugged in and sitting on your desk. The USB-C end, I liked seeing it wrap over the overmold to give it a nice clean look. No glue or residue on the Tech Flex, which is a nice, bright, vibrant yellow color. Something to keep in mind when buying any cable, they're not very flexible. It can be a challenge to arrange the cord in a way that works with your desk setup, but once it's in place, you're good to go. The USB-A end did rotate a bit, which means it is a potential risk of breaking if it rotates too far. I addressed this with Corryn and she offered to fix it right away. She also said she has since improved her crimping method, so it wouldn't be an issue. As a customer, those are the two things that I appreciate a great deal. First is the willingness to make something right, and the second is to ensure a flaw or mistake doesn't happen again. Continuous improvement. This here is one of my very first mechanical keyboards, the Durgod Hades 68. I figured with an all-black keyboard, there wouldn't be any color clashing issues. Another thing I do have to mention, when resting and not connected, both ends of the cable sort of tucked in to the point that it would even overlap with the cable beside it. When connected to the keyboard, it straightened out and it isn't as apparent, which is good. It did, however, compromise the spacing of the final coil on each end. Again, something I know will be improved in future iterations. The distressed aviator connector looks great. Again, though this component might make it harder to match certain desk setups, I really like it as it reminds me personally of BioShock, one of my favorite Xbox 360 games. Damn, I feel old. I actually really like this cable paired with the Keychron K2, which has its USB port coming out of the left side of the case. I just spun one end of the cable 180 degrees to make a U-shape, and then it created a really interesting desk and keyboard layout. The coiled portion of the cable is 5 inches long here, but I think even a 4-inch cable would have worked just fine. Alright, let's wrap things up. So, is this a cable I would recommend? Yes, especially if you're in the US where shipping is only $8. $40 to $50 is a pretty good deal for those who don't want to spend too much on a cable, especially made from one of the larger makers. It's well made and put together with few flaws, and rest assured, the rotating USB-A end won't be an issue if you were to get it today. International shipping costs $25 though, which it is a lot, but it's not too unreasonable considering how much goes into ensuring your cable arrives at your doorstep in one piece. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks so much for your continued support, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.